Okay, in case anybody was wondering, there was a debate last night, a presidential debate between two people that nobody wants. Well, I won't say nobody. I'll say that an overwhelming majority of all the people in the country don't want either one. But we are going to go to the polls and choose one of them, what, holding our nose and say, or get out a dartboard and throw it at it and decide, because what's the purpose of that daggone debate? Okay? What's the purpose? If it's to try to convince voters to choose one candidate over the other, then what voters are they trying to convince? Because everybody who's affiliated with a party know who they're going to vote for, even if they vote for the other side. Like the Cheneys are supposed to be supporting Kamala Harris. Okay? They already know. Even independent voters, which it makes no sense that considering independents nationwide and in most states, especially in a state like Colorado, the Democrats or Republicans and independents are 1/3 equal split almost. But the independents actually have more independents than there are Democrats or Republicans. Okay? So why is it that the Democrats and Republicans can have their choice considered on the ballot, but the independents don't? And if the independents want to participate, they have to choose between the two parties, either at in the primaries or at the ballot box in November. You have to choose. So even though they don't want either one of those two parties, they're being forced to choose one of them. And why? Why is it that the Democrats and Republicans get to choose who our president will be? I know you're struggling with that question because there is no daggone good reason. None whatsoever. Okay, so when you look at this debate, who are they trying to convince? They're trying to convince those undecided voters. Why are they undecided? They're undecided because they don't want to choose either one of them. And they're trying to decide which one of them is between the two is I don't know, not going the best choice between two people you don't want, and you have no good reason to vote for. And let me tell you that it's not going to be that debate is not going to change their mind when they get in the ballot box, especially when you have a convicted felon on one side. Even though he hasn't been sentenced yet, he's already been convicted. For what? For trying to influence the election. Oh, shucks. And you have one on the other side who's only blowing smoke up your ass. One to maintain the status quo of doing nothing for nobody and spending everybody's money the way they want to spend it. Okay? So we got some real problems with this whole process that we have to consider together. Because going to the ballot box ain't going to fix it. Because why? Because the ballot box is rigged too. When you get in that ballot box, you have a binary choice every time. Yes or no, for or against. period. And those two choices may not solve the problem. So where do you determine where to solve the problem? How do you determine or define the problem that you're trying to solve and then find solutions to that problem? Where do you do that? And who gets to do it? Okay? This is the problem we have in this country today. Because by default, the Democrats and Republicans are claiming that they win a mandate to answer those questions and solve the problem, lead and govern. You know, our solutions are better than their solutions. Okay? I'll say take all your damn solutions and leave. Because none of them are even addressing the problems that we have. And when it comes to the election of the president, how can you elect the president if you don't even have a job description for the president? If I have a job that I have open in my company, there's going to be a job description, and I want candidates to interview that meet that job description. Okay? Have the experience and education that meets that job description. That's what I want. And I don't want just two. I want at least 5 so that I can consider it. And how many people, how many resumes are they got that do the HR have to look through in order to find those 5 candidates that we'll bring in and offer interviews? In fact, the way it works most times is the hiring managers ask for maybe 10 resumes. And then from that 10, the hiring managers choose 5 that they'll bring in and give interviews. And then they will discuss those interviews and make a choice of the person that they want to hire. They're not stuck with 2 people who are totally unqualified to be the president. Both of them. Because they don't know one thing about what the president is supposed to do. And in fact, Kamala Harris has no idea what the vice president's job is. None. She thinks that she's carrying Biden's bag. Water boy. That's what she is. Waiting for him to croak or for her to ascend to the throne. Okay? No. That's not what the vice president is for. So the first thing we got to do is figure out what the daggone job description is. And then the second thing is, how do we make a choice from people that we want to choose from, rather than a choice of people that we don't want? Can we get to the point where the choice is between people that we've already identified, that we all agree that could do the job? See, that's where we get out of this competition politics mode and get back to what the elector's job is supposed to be, which is identifying and vetting candidates for the states to consider in Congress to elect the president. From the top people on that list that all the electors in the country have identified as qualified and suitable. Can we get back to that? I'll continue the rest of this tirade on another podcast or whatever you want to call this I'm doing. But that's the question. How do we form the ballot of people that we want instead of people we don't want? Thanks.